Today, we're diving into Grandpa's all-time favorite gardening hacks that cost absolutely nothing, perfect for anyone who wants a lush, organic garden without breaking the bank. We'll explore clever tricks using everyday items like potato water, cinnamon, and even your old mailbox. Get ready to see just how simple it can be to grow healthier plants, keep pests at bay, and save money all at once. Number 1. Potato water as fertilizer. Grandpa never liked wasting a single thing, and boiled potato water was no exception. Instead of pouring it down the drain, he let it cool and used it in his vegetable patch or flower beds. To pull this off, just boil your spuds in unsalted water, then wait until the liquid's no longer hot. Once it's at room temperature, pour it around the base of nutrient-hungry plants like tomatoes or peppers. The starches and minerals in that cooled cooking water act like a free, gentle fertilizer, giving soil an extra dose of potassium and phosphorus. This works because potatoes naturally release a variety of nutrients while cooking, and those nutrients encourage strong, healthy root systems without harsh chemicals. It's such a no-fuss, thrifty method that people often realize they've been missing out on a perfect garden booster. When you think about how much water goes down the drain every time you cook, it's pretty impressive to see that liquid become liquid gold for your soil instead of getting wasted. Number 2, chamomile tea to prevent disease. A steaming mug of chamomile is more than just a stress reliever for people, it's a powerful ally for plants too. Brew a strong batch by steeping a few chamomile tea bags, or dried chamomile blossoms if you've got them, in hot water for around 20 minutes. Let it cool before transferring it into a spray bottle. Mist it over seedlings and around mature plants to discourage damping off disease, mildew, and mold. The reason it works is that chamomile contains compounds like apigenin, which help fight off harmful bacteria and fungi without messing up the beneficial microbes you want in your soil. For anyone who's gone through the heartbreak of watching young sprouts keel over from fungal attacks, this easy trick can be a lifesaver. It's gentle, safe, and it smells kind of nice too. Number 3, cinnamon to repel ants and boost roots. Cinnamon isn't just for coffee cake or French toast. This common kitchen spice has a sneaky way of keeping ants at bay. Simply sprinkle cinnamon around plant bases or along potential entry points. Ants can't stand the strong scent and usually won't cross it. But beyond that, cinnamon also benefits tender seedlings by preventing fungal infections. Lightly dust it on fresh potting soil or directly over seeds to help them develop healthier roots. The antifungal aspect comes from naturally occurring compounds in the spice that keep mold and mildew in check. This hack is a perfect marriage of pest control and plant health, all thanks to something many folks already have in the spice cabinet. Number 4, garden hose to outline planting beds. Before making any big changes to your garden layout, you can visualize your new beds using an old garden hose. Lay it on the ground in the shape you want, curved edges, straight lines, or any design you prefer. Walk around, see if it feels right, and adjust as needed until you're happy. Once your layout looks good, mark the edges with stakes or a bit of spray paint, then remove the hose and start digging or adding compost. This approach is so helpful because flexible rubber mimics the natural lines of a planting bed better than a rigid measuring stick. You avoid the hassle of redoing mistakes later. It's like giving yourself a blueprint you can tweak over and over before you put in the real sweat equity. Number 5, use dried beans as free seeds. If you've got a bag of dried beans or peas in your pantry, there's a good chance you can plant them directly to grow a new batch in your garden. Kidney beans, black beans, chickpeas. Many store-bought varieties will sprout if you give them proper moisture and warmth. Just soak them overnight, tuck them about an inch under well-draining soil, and keep them watered. In around a week or 2, you'll see tiny seedlings poke through. Beans enrich the soil with nitrogen, which is a big perk if you're rotating crops. It's not only a money saver, but a neat way to ensure a steady supply of fresh legumes. Plus, the plants often produce blossoms that look and smell great, so it's a win for both aesthetics and your dinner plate. Number 6, plant markers from recycled materials. There's no need to drop cash on fancy labels that might fade or snap after one season. Grandpa was always big on repurposing and used anything from ice pop sticks and wine corks to strips cut from milk jugs. Any waterproof material that you can write on with a permanent marker works well. If you're going for something sturdier, old mini blinds made of plastic or aluminum can be cut into neat strips, providing durable, weather-resistant markers. Reusing these odds and ends keeps them out of landfills and helps keep your garden organized. It might not sound like the flashiest hack, but once you've saved yourself time and money for a few seasons, you'll see why it's a habit worth forming. Number 7, mailbox for tool storage. The moment you need pruning shears or gloves, they always seem to be in the shed at the far end of the yard. Solve that annoyance by installing an old mailbox right near your garden beds. Flip your trowel, handheld cultivator, seed packets, and even a notepad in there for quick access. The sturdy, weatherproof design keeps everything dry and rust-free. Add a magnetic strip inside if you want metal tools to stay in place. This works so well because mailboxes are built to handle outdoor conditions, and it spares you trips back and forth when you just want to take care of a quick task or note. It's a clever, zero-stress storage solution for anyone who values efficiency. Number 8, homemade plant feet from scrap wood. When pots sit directly on the ground or on a deck, they can trap moisture at the base, making roots soggy and wooden surfaces prone to rot. To prevent that, cut small blocks out of any leftover wood, 2 inches or so in height works great, and attach 3 or 4 of them to the underside of your pot or planter box. The extra lift allows air to circulate beneath the container, and water can drain out more freely. Since it's such a simple build, you can customize shapes or even paint them to match your decor. Not only do your plants get healthier airflow, but you also protect your surfaces from those damp, muddy rings that can appear over time. Number 9. Coffee filters to prevent soil runoff. If you've ever noticed little trails of potting mix escaping your plant's drainage hole after each watering, you know how messy it can get. Line the bottom of the planter with a paper coffee filter before adding soil. Water will still seep through, but the filter holds back fine particles. Unlike materials that might clog the drainage, coffee filters are biodegradable, so they eventually break down without harming the plant. It's one of those no-brainer hacks that keeps your patio, windowsill, or indoor plant trays cleaner. And you get the bonus of stable soil that won't shift around every time you water. Number 10. Bury an egg for soil nutrients. One of Grandpa's old tricks involved taking a raw egg and placing it in the hole right before planting tomatoes or peppers. He'd crack it a bit or leave it whole. Either way, it eventually decomposes and provides a natural nitrogen and calcium boost. Over time, the egg breaks down and enriches the soil, helping roots develop stronger and leaves stay lush. It's a slow-release method that can reduce the need for additional fertilizers during the growing season. This works because eggs are packed with proteins and minerals that feed beneficial microbes. It's an uncomplicated form of composting that delivers results without buying any pricey store-bought products. Number 11. Paper tapping for bug removal. Rather than dousing your plants in toxic sprays, sometimes all you need is a sheet of paper and a gentle tap. If aphids or little beetles have invaded a leaf, hold a firm piece of paper under that leaf and give it a light tap on top with a pencil or stick. Bugs will drop right onto the paper. Then you can shake them off somewhere away from your garden or dispose of them how you see fit. This is especially handy when you notice just a few troublemakers and don't want to risk harming beneficial insects with chemical solutions. It's a quick fix that respects the natural balance in your backyard ecosystem, so you're not nuking everything in sight. Number 12. PVC pipes for moving heavy objects. Landscaping rocks and giant pots can be a real strain on your back. Grandpa always said, work smarter, not harder, and used PVC pipes to roll heavy items from one spot to another. Lay 2 or 3 lengths of sturdy pipe side by side, then gently place the object on top. Push it forward, and as the back pipe becomes free, move it around to the front. This technique, used by ancient civilizations with logs, drastically reduces friction and the force needed to move big objects. It saves your muscles and your sanity, especially when rearranging the garden layout or shifting large planters. Number 13, spice bottle and sand for spacing seeds. Tiny seeds like lettuce or carrots often clump together when you try to sow them by hand. An easy fix is mixing them with fine sand, then pouring this mixture into a cleaned-out spice shaker, the kind with holes on top. Shake the seeds over the soil row, and the sand helps separate them so they land more evenly. Once they germinate, you won't have to spend ages thinning out overcrowded seedlings. It's a double bonus for gardeners, less waste of seeds and healthier, better-spaced plants. This method has stood the test of time because it's straightforward and uses materials you probably already own. Number 14, newspaper for weed control. Weeds love to sprout up the second you turn around, but laying down sheets of newspaper creates a barrier that blocks sunlight and keeps them from growing in the first place. Spread about 4 to 8 layers of newspaper over the soil around plants, then spray it lightly with water to help it settle. Top it off with mulch, straw, or grass clippings for an even neater look. As the paper decomposes, it improves soil structure without introducing any chemical residues. Not only does this method reduce the time you'll spend yanking out unwanted sprouts, but it also gives your soil a gentle carbon boost and a cozy, insulating layer. Number 15, reuse potting soil. Don't toss potting mix when you switch out seasonal plants. Sift through it to remove old roots and clumps, spread it in the sun to dry, and kill any lurking fungi or pests, and then enrich it with compost, aged manure, or worm castings. If it's compacted, add a bit of sand or perlite to improve drainage. This helps you avoid buying fresh bags of soil every time you start new seedlings or pot a houseplant. Think of it like revitalizing tired soil rather than letting it sit in a landfill. You'll be amazed how well plants flourish once they get this refreshed blend. It's sustainable and cuts down on garden expenses. A big plus for anyone who's on a tight budget but still wants thriving greenery. Number 16, Epsom salt for more blooms. Epsom salt, made of magnesium sulfate, can be a game changer for flowering plants and certain veggies. Dissolve a tablespoon in a gallon of water and either water the plant directly or spray it onto the leaves every couple of weeks. The magnesium helps the plant take in nitrogen and phosphorus, which supports bigger blooms and stronger foliage. Meanwhile, the sulfur in Epsom salt assists with chlorophyll production. You'll often see the difference in rose bushes, peppers, and tomatoes, which tend to respond quickly to a magnesium boost. It's a relatively gentle way to keep your garden vibrant without heavy chemical fertilizers. Just don't go overboard. More isn't always better, so stick to a light schedule. Number 17, shaved soap to deter critters. Rabbits and deer can chew through an entire row of lettuce overnight, and Grandpa's simple fix was a bar of Irish Spring or any similarly strong-scented soap. Grate it or shave it into small flakes and scatter them around the perimeter of your beds. The intense smell discourages animals from venturing into that space. Alternatively, hang small pouches of soap shavings at plant height so that breezes spread the scent around. Remember to refresh the soap after heavy rain. This remedy works because it doesn't harm the animals. It merely sends a go-away signal. It's both cost-effective and easier than putting up a big fence, especially if you're looking to protect a small area. Number 18, plastic bottles as mini greenhouses. Plastic bottles can be repurposed into individual protective domes for seedlings. Cut the bottom off and place the top half over a tender sprout or freshly planted seed. The makeshift dome helps lock in warmth and moisture, essentially creating a mini greenhouse environment. If the weather is getting too warm, twist the cap off for ventilation, or just lift the bottle slightly to let fresh air flow. It's a brilliant way to give your plants a head start in early spring or in areas with fluctuating temperatures. Once they're strong enough, you can remove the bottle. This method is a lifesaver for younger plants that might otherwise get stunted by chilly nights or gusty winds. Number 19, sponge in pots for slow water release. Hanging baskets and potted plants tend to dry out faster, especially in the heat. By placing a clean household sponge at the bottom of your planter, you give the soil a water reservoir. After you water, the sponge soaks up the extra moisture. As the soil starts drying, it pulls water back from the sponge. This technique reduces how often you need to water and helps avoid the dreaded overwatering that leaves roots soggy. People often forget how quickly containers can lose moisture, so having this extra cushion is a simple insurance policy for those scorching summer days or the busy weeks when you might not water as consistently. Number 20, toilet paper rolls as seed starters. Instead of buying plastic seedling trays, transform cardboard toilet paper rolls into biodegradable cups. Cut each roll in half, stand them upright in a shallow container, and fill them with a seed-starting mix. Sow your seeds and keep them gently watered. By the time sprouts are ready for transplanting, you can plant the whole cardboard tube directly into the ground. It will break down naturally, allowing roots to spread. This method is eco-friendly and helps reduce transplant shock. It's an especially good tip for seeds that don't like having their roots disturbed. Plus, it's a fantastic way to upcycle something that most people just toss in the trash. All these ideas share one thing in common. They prove you don't need to spend a fortune or rely on synthetic chemicals to cultivate a thriving, beautiful space. Simple steps, like recycling household items, Harnessing natural repellents or using gentle soil enhancers can have a big impact on growth and health. Grandpa's approach reminds us that a gardener's best tools often come from everyday life, and the trick is noticing which scraps or supplies can be put to work outdoors. Whether it's potato water or a bar of soap, these free organic hacks blend practicality with ingenuity to help you grow fresh vegetables, gorgeous flowers, and healthy herbs while saving time, money, and effort. If you're craving more tips and want to see what else Grandpa might have up his sleeve, keep exploring and diving into these kinds of tried and true methods.